welcome back to the Netherkast. It is me, the Cyberman guy. Dude.
He's not rusty at all, folks.
And I have with me, as always, Django. And
Nope.
Always Django.
He's always been on the show. There has never not been a Django.
Lou,
Extremely quiet guy.
we have Lou joining us today, and
My name is Australian for toilet.
Edge. Where's that guy that's sometimes here? He's kind of like, he's like a temp. I don't...
Yeah, that's me. That's probably me.
What happened?
I didn't know Lou was Shadow Lou, so I thought I might have been Lou. I wasn't sure.
That was a safe assumption.
My L-O-O or my L-I-U?
I thought it was L-I-U. I was confused.
It's L-O-O.
Yep, see? Toilet. I am the toilet.
I thought it might have been short for Lewis.
Nope.
L-E-W, huh? Nah, I can't take care for it.
Well, it's
Oh,
Luis if
boy.
you're from Mexico.
All right. Well, that's the episode, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Good shit.
I get it now. Okay. I see what you did there.
It's episode...
His name is Shadowloo.
It's episode 46. We've
We've
come
been at it a while.
far.
Can we make it to 50? Is it within us?
No. Please, no.
Do you want to stop?
It's gonna be a long, slow crawl across that finish line, man.
All right. So,
For the record, I don't believe in doing things that you don't actually care about. Just putting that out there.
oh, geez.
I don't know how it works
stopped a
in
long
Canada,
time
but
ago.
over here, when you cross finish, you get $200, right?
Yep,
That's Monopoly.
that's a game.
Monopoly is America. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
All
right.
Come on.
Do they have, like, international monopoly where they use something other than dollars?
Hey, speaking of which, weren't we like, I don't know, each owed $50 for the show or something?
Yeah,
That's my
no.
money, Cyborg.
That's not
No?
anywhere close to what happened. But all right. I wish we all
Oh,
got $50.
okay.
Wait, what?
Sounds like a fun story.
We made $50 just in total. It's not $50
gross.
each. And that was about 6 months ago. And it's sitting there. I
like Shadowloo's version better. I think he should be the banker.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not particularly crazy, but I mean, I could use that $12.50. I'm just putting that out there. $12.50 in American money is probably like, I don't know,
That
$500
assumes
plus
Django
or
doesn't get a
something.
cut.
That also
He
assumes
wasn't
that
here, was he?
that also
All right,
assumes
all right,
that I
all right.
haven't
Dude, it
spent
sounds
it
like
all.
you need it more than I do. It's okay.
It's gone. It's gone.
What do we
Bitch,
buy?
where
Do we
is
buy
my
Combat
money?
Pack 3?
What? I spent it on gummy bears. Oh,
Bitch, where
That
is
makes
my
me
money?
sad. You
specifically,
spent that on Doom, Cyborg.
Specifically-
Why'd you not fight Doom?
specifically red gummy bears.
You're going to
Why is no
introduce
one
me as
buying
bitch,
Doom?
where's my
I
money
bought-
for the rest of the show?
I bought enough bags to form one bag of just red gummy bears. I threw the other ones away.
Couldn't even buy blue ones. My God.
You know what goes well with gummy bears? Doom.
They don't make blue gummy bears.
You want to talk about Doom?
I really want to talk. I won't, but
Doom's
I
amazing.
really want to talk about Doom.
All right, well, let's
my-
do this in like order. Let's start with Combat Pack 3 because I know some people want to talk about that.
In order?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you get the memo?
Looking forward to Chucky and the Terminator.
I actually kind of am, to be honest with you. I'm actually a little excited for Combat Pack 3. I have. Even if we do get the table of one guest character and 3 characters we didn't want, they ran out of, like, really boring characters. So they're either going to be really
No.
good or they're going to be really shitty.
No,
And the
you
shitty
say
characters
that.
almost fascinate me. What? Yeah.
You
We'll
say
go on.
that, but if they put Sindel out, I will cry.
I would be ecstatic. I would love to see DLC Sindel.
See?
I would be
Hey,
so
I
unbelievably happy.
This was
I
their
will
strategy.
weep tears.
We
Bitter,
are denied
salty tears.
You're denied that which we love, that which we want. And so, 2 years down the line, we will take anything and we will kiss their asses for it with our wet brown tongues.
I mean,
Look forward to Paul Blart Mall Cop, or whoever the fuck it is they pick.
I
don't think I'd be disappointed with Blart. I think I'd be okay with
What's wrong
that.
with Kevin James? He's wonderful.
There's a few. I mostly agree, but there's a few things he could work on. Like
Kevin
not
Smith, that would be a good
Sandler.
idea.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And Jay is an assistant. He comes in with the, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think MK needs any more retcons after Kevin Smith fucking backed up so hard on his Batman review. But
Ooh.
yeah, I
So
want
what?
canon.
He changed his mind and he likes it. Deal with it.
It's a retcon, bro.
He likes Batman
He's a
versus
stoner.
Superman.
He likes everything.
He likes Batman versus
well,
Superman. in
his
initial
review was that he
Correct.
liked it because Jay liked it, and he's like, and Jay has no standards. Like he just has this childlike glee reaction when he sees comic book characters on the screen. So,
The hell's that
Like-
snake?
like his whole positive review was just parademons, bro.
So you're
And I
just
mean-
saying he was paid.
Someone did have a fever dream about parademons in that movie. That did happen.
Yes, they had a dream about a vision of the future.
And there wasn't actually
That vision was given to them
I
by
think
a
I created a
time
monster
traveler.
here.
So
And it was
Combat Pack
funny.
3.
Yes, indeed. I
Combat
would
Pack
challenge
3
you guys to pick a character that's not going to work. I mean,
I don't think
we've
we're getting
gotten
it.
through that.
I don't think we're getting it.
I know we're getting it, dude. They're
Oh
announcing.
yeah,
Evo,
we're getting it. It's happening.
Yeah, it's
You're gonna
happening.
get it whether you want it or not.
What did they say that leads you to believe that? Just I'm kind of out of the loop, so I'm curious.
Well, two things. One thing, Ed Boon announced a huge announcement. Huge announcement. He announced an announcement for Evo. That's one thing. Second
Wasn't
thing,
that like
he
the
had-
bottom out?
It's going
Like
to be
the-
a countdown clock, and when it runs down, it starts another countdown clock.
I thought the huge
Again,
Evo.
I don't think they can disappoint me anymore.
I thought the huge Evo
I
announcement
don't
was
think they
the
have
like.
begun to
money.
disappoint me.
I mean, I'm
think
sure it's
we-
in there too.
Show me the Fujin.
I thought
The third,
so.
I mean, well, Combat Pack 3 also won the poll as well. Now, granted, that might not mean anything, but then he recently had a tweet saying that people are worried Injustice is going to take away time from Combat Pack 3, and that's just not true. Some paraphrasing, obviously.
Well, yeah, it was
So,
more.
I mean, the writing's on the wall. It's coming.
The quote was more. Some people think Injustice 2 stopped Combat Pack 3 or prevented Combat Pack 3, and he smiled. I interpreted
the-
that more as Injustice
He's
2 was just the next thing in line. It doesn't matter.
Then why,
smiled
the,
knowingly.
why the Evo announcement then?
Because the
I
Evo
can't
announcement-
imagine it being another prize pot.
He already announced it that it was a prize pot.
He smiled knowingly,
Well, the announcement's going to be
knowing
an Evo,
well that
so
you can't prevent what doesn't exist from, doing anything because it doesn't exist.
His Twitter announcement of the Evo tease, he literally tweeted out something like an hour later, and it was a prize
see, I
pot.
didn't see that.
It was a prize
Well-
pot of Evo.
The plot's a little thicker than all that. That does include all that, though. It's a delicious plot. The Injustice 2 is interesting. It's very clear that NetherRealm has built like a very nice platform for themselves to develop and iterate games quickly, which is good. And it also means that there's going to be way more DLC in any of their games coming forward.
Sure.
Far more.
Sure.
Including MKX. You don't do the deal with the netcode just to like have a happy send off. We're never doing anything with this game again. Enjoy XL. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. And there's been a ridiculous amount of teasing for specifically Combat Pack 3, not just the Evo thing. And I mean, yeah, all that stuff was in there, but Combat Pack 3 is happening because who doesn't like money? Warner Brothers loves money. NRS also love money. It's a thing. It's happening. I don't know when, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna suck. There's not gonna be a Fujin, but that's okay.
No,
gonna
we
happen
don't want
anyway.
Fujin. We do not want
I
Fujin
don't
in the
think-
next pack.
Here's
I still do. Ain't gonna happen.
the only reason it's taken this long to get Combat Pack 3, I'm sure, is because it's taken so long to negotiate for the rights of, like, Ghostface and, I don't know, Robot Jocks.
He was making these
Dude, Robot Jocks is awesome. I would
these,
take Robot Jocks in MKX.
Yeah, I say that to make fun, but I actually would like
I
Robot
don't know what that is. What is that? Is that
It was
something I should know about?
it was a goofy '80s movie. It's sort of like giant Rock'em Sock'em robots.
It was a shitty Pacific Rim back in the day, basically.
Fun
Except there
fact.
were no monsters and a lot more sound.
Fun fact: the sample from when one of the robots goes careening into the crowd and thousands of people are crushed and killed. Trent Reznor incorporated that into a song off the Downward Spiral. It's in the background. Neat bit of trivia.
That sounds legit. I like
Or
that
you
guy.
don't.
He does good work. But no, yeah. Edmund was playing, Twitter footsie with Dave Lang earlier about Killer Instinct. Which there's probably not going to be a Killer Instinct character in Mortal Kombat X because that would be
Well,
that'd be
first
a
of all,
nightmare because
Kinda cool.
Xbox owns Killer Instinct completely.
Yeah.
Not Xbox, Microsoft, but there's
Same
probably
thing.
going to be a Mortal Kombat character in Killer Instinct at some point, especially since they're still supporting Killer Instinct and
Well, there's
they're
one character left for season 3, so that may very well be like Scorpion. We don't know.
they gotta
Hopefully,
put
it's Idol.
someone in there. Like they can't just keep putting. Like they can't put Alan Wake in there. They can't do it. Okay, they have to put someone else in. There.
It's gonna be Thunder's brother Eagle. They
But-
have
He's already in the game before.
But Fulgor's already in the game.
Still kind of hoping on Idol.
I mean,
Human
it could.
I'm gonna do Idol. I want Idol as much as you do, but apparently everybody in the world but us hates Idol.
They have to have heard the outcry by now. Everyone loves Idol except for the creators of KI. That's the only. They're the outliers in this problem for sure.
Idol and
What's-
Fujin should form a support group.
Well, I'm
Fujin should be
saying
the
if-
guest character in Killer Instinct. Wouldn't that be fucking weird?
If you're following all the story stuff they put on the Ultra Combo website, it's
Uh-oh.
looking like it's gonna be Eagle.
That would be
Oh.
grossly disappointing.
Wasn't he like actually Fulgor Mark III or one of
Well,
them at least
what-
where he was?
What the explanation is, okay, so Fulgors come off an assembly line, right? So they can't all have the brain in them. So apparently it's actually just that Eagle is being kept in stasis and the AI is based on his brain. Neat.
Okay,
Okay.
so
So it's like Ultron.
What do you got, Cyborg?
I pulled up those comments because I do want to discuss why I think that these statements don't exactly mean Combat Pack 3.
Okay.
Just my thought. It's not that I don't want Combat Pack 3. I think that'd be great. And obviously there's a lot of characters that can benefit being put in the game, like Havoc and Fujin, blah, blah, blah. And of course the guest characters that we're, of course, going to get as well. But anyways, here's the statements. We'll tackle them one by one. Ed Boon, the Evo tweet you were talking about, he says, even with recent announcement of Injustice 2, we've got some cool Mortal Kombat X news coming, smiley face. Obviously with Evo, like the letters Evo,
Yeah,
capitalized.
they're capitalized.
So, and then he follows up not long after with, it was short time later, it's happy to announce WB Games and NetherRealm will be adding $50,000 to the Evo Mortal Kombat X pop bonus. I mean, he follows that up just short time later after he's teasing something like an Evo Mortal Kombat announcement. That's, to me, that's what I think he was referring to. Because, I mean, that's Boom. He's done that several times where he's like, hey, we have something exciting to announce. Because he did that when people thought we were going to get Combat Pack 3 the last time, as he did the same thing at ESL. So,
And
I'm
let's
not
be
saying it's not
honest, like,
logical, but I think we're getting Combat Pack 3.
okay.
$50,000 check for Sonic Fox isn't not hype. It's just not hype.
Okay, and then
God, dude, we have to talk about that too. Maybe not yet, but we gotta get to that later.
and
That's
then
a
the other
problem.
part was somebody tweeted IGN or something, and then Ed Boon responded, thanks. Some people think Injustice 2 killed MKXL Combat Pack 3 smiley face. In my opinion, I mean, I totally get that's definitely a hint towards it, but at the same time, I could also interpret it, and how I interpret it is, Injustice 2 didn't kill the MKX Combat Pack 3. It's not like they were like, oh, we'll make a Combat Pack 3 up. No, wait, we got to do Injustice. Never mind. In my opinion, I don't think there ever was a plan for Combat Pack 3, and he's just implying that, look, guys, Injustice 2 did not kill Combat Pack 3. All it did was, it's just the next thing. We were done making DLC. And even, there was a statement he made where he said, we're continually trying to grow our DLC characters that we released. With MK9, we had 4. With Injustice, we had 6. With MKX, we had 8. it's kind of odd to just all of a sudden add to that number now, because he said in Injustice 2 we're looking to go even further and add even more than 8 than we ever done before. And then there was...
It's not just... Okay, go ahead.
Oh, and then my last comment of why I think it's unlikely is, or why I'm skeptical, I should say, is why release Mortal Kombat XL, like your complete edition, and then release more DLC content that people that don't buy it on disc have to now purchase online? That seems counterproductive. Money, sure, but it's just dumb.
It also doesn't, but that doesn't take into account the fact that with this XL, they gave that there's the new netcode there, and like I said, it doesn't make any sense to do years of work to just give MKX a brand new net system and then close the door on the game.
This is
you could see how it's
NetherRealm we're talking about.
If they were still continuing ESL and they knew they had a 2-year plan beyond that point, I could see that being enough of a reason. But I think you're right. I think Warner Brothers is thinking, we built a new netcode and there's still a demand. Why not? Okay, here's what I think happened. Ed Boon created a poll on Twitter to see what the fan interest was for KP3. He took that data and he showed it to a board meeting at Warner Brothers and said, there are still a lot of people willing to throw money at this. This is real capital we can make dough off of. And now I think we're getting KP3. And I think, yes, there's no... Cyborg's absolutely right. Logically, there's nothing definitive saying we're getting this. Absolutely.
And there's no precedent for it either.
I agree with that as well. It's just all the verbal awareness. Doesn't all the verbal awareness and the public seem a little suspicious?
You'd think so, but it's Ed Boon and NetherRealm we're talking about.
Well, yeah, it's Ed Boon and NetherRealm talking about a company that built a brand new net infrastructure for its game a year after it came out. Giving a game a beta a year after it's out, that's not exactly precedented.
It's also very expensive. They were better off not doing that. Very
expensive. Furthermore, it's very clear, especially with Injustice, it's unprecedented that look at the combos that Batman and Superman and Aquaman have in Injustice. Injustice 2 is a platform. It's being developed to last as long as Warner Brothers and NetherRealm wants it to easily iterate with it, as was Mortal Kombat X. Both of these games were developed alongside each other, and they look extremely similar, not just from like visual standpoint, but these things are running off the same engine, more than the same engine, very much the same engine. I think Warner Brothers and NetherRealm are looking at these games, like I said, a little bit more like a Killer Instinct can. Not that much, but still, they can maintain both of these things simultaneously with content as much as the game is warranting it. Mortal Kombat X sold phenomenally. Mortal Kombat XL also sold super well. The DLC sold like it's dumb how well that shit sold. So
did we ever actually get sales figures?
There were. I remember the list. I think after everything was said and done in Mortal Kombat, or in 2015, is this 2016? Yeah, it is.
Yes.
2015, I think MKX landed in like the top 50 games of the year, which isn't horrible because there's a lot of games.
I figured it would be top 10.
I thought it was going
to
in terms of actual numbers for each character and season passes and costumes and whatnot.
Oh, I don't know that numbers.
Because I remember I remember for MK9 that we did get specific figures.
We should ask.
So here's the thing I would point out, that Cyborg mentioned that MKXL is sort of like a complete edition, and you usually don't see more content after that. I thought this was something noteworthy when it came out, that nowhere on the cover of the game does it say complete edition.
Sure.
Which is something sort of unique for a supposed complete edition coming from Warner Brothers.
Or Game of the Year.
It is. Yeah.
It's not complete till it's the Game of the Year. Which year is irrelevant.
So, an argument could be made that it is...
I'm sorry, go on.
The argument could be made that they released MKXL not intending it for it to be the complete edition, that they wanted to do more stuff. That said, I lean towards what Cyborg said, just in terms of being pessimistic and not wanting to expect a combat pack, because that way, if it's not, you don't get let down.
Well, here's the thing about that. Part of me was hoping so hard there would not be a KP3. because I feel like if you take these cool characters and put them in the new combat pack, you have doomed them for MK11. I've said that 100 times, probably more so on the Warrior Shrine even. I want Fujin to be an MK11. I don't want him to be the next Scarlet or the next Rain, you know? So, even more so, I don't want to see Scarlet or Rain in the next KP3, because I want them in MK11. I think those are good characters. They can still do things with them. I think Rain, I mean, Cyborg has probably said this more than I have, but Rain deserves a starting spot by this point. He deserves to be in the initial roster. So I didn't want KP3. There's no way they can disappoint me. They're either going to give me KP3, and good or bad, it's going to be very fascinating. It's going to be extremely telling about what goes on in that brain of theirs. The one brain, multiple brains, whatever. Syntax aside. Anyway, if we don't get one, then I think we may have at least potentially safeguarded good characters for the MK11 roster, which is still a concern for me to an extent.
See, that is also setting yourself up for disappointment. Watch there not be a Fujin in MK11.
I like Tev's take on it. It's fun, but I'm very pro there being a Combat Pack 3. But for me, that's me being a little bit cynical, because I'm not hyped for a Combat Pack 3. I'm just like, yeah, of course there's going to be one. Warner Brothers loves money, and it's making money, and but I'm not looking forward to it. But I'm 100% convinced it's going to happen.
If I was to share my actual what I want out of the games, I am not hyped for Mortal Kombat 11 for some reason. I would rather have more content for the game we have now. It's just that I know it's not going to be the content that I want that we actually get. That's why I keep making the joke. It's just going to be fucking Rain, somebody from the 3D era, the only one they like who's left is Frost, and then a monster movie character from the 80s and an action movie character from the 80s, and you're done.
Am I the only one who would not put it at all past them to make it Rain, Sindel, Baraka, and one guest?
I think Baraka's out of the picture because of Tarkatan for
That
Alien.
would be the fastest and easiest thing to do. I'm inclined to think they won't do Baraka just because they already gave Alien his blades, but the other two are totally fair game.
That's also why I'm not really pumped for it, is the characters I wanted most, Cyrax, Smoke, etc. They're not going to make it in this game.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
exactly how I feel.
I think Noob Saibot's a lot.
just
I think if there is a KP3,
Yeah.
you will get Noob Saibot.
That's what I was going to say. I think Noob's a good choice, and people
I'd
like
be happy
Noob.
with
I like to
Noob,
see Noob.
but-
God, if they actually did that, virtually every single fucking ninja apart from Rain and an independent form of Smoke would be in that game again.
I'd like to see Noob, but I doubt it.
I think that Noob, probably more so than Rain, actually, deserves a starting spot on that roster. He's a big deal. People like him. People enjoy him.
The funny thing, Noob Saibot has been in every single game since he was created, except X.
Everyone's got to take a break at least once.
I don't know. I mean, what Razor was saying, about wanting to produce content for the game we have now. About a month ago, and probably a few months before that, I was actually very against that, because I tried not to be too caustic about it, but for a while I hated MKX, a lot. And it's all gameplay. It's nothing to do with the story, nothing to do with the roster. I just really don't like how they handled offense in this game. But I've been watching Combo Breaker, CEO's coming up, I've been watching ESL. This game is going the route of Street Fighter 4, where people are getting so good at the sort of the nuance in the gameplay. People are getting so good at the exploits that it really is turning into something interesting. I think people are really salvaging what turned into a 50-50 fest back in 2015. So I'm a lot more optimistic than I used to be, but I don't care for the fact there's no mid-range footsies, not really at least. I still hate the fact that if I do anything other than a mix-up, I lose my turn on offense. I hate that. If I do a poke and it's blocked, I either need to spend meter or I need to hold block, because my turn is fucking over. I hate that. I miss MK9 stagger so much. So the fact that we're getting a KP3 did not thrill me, but the game is looking good lately. I'm a lot more optimistic than I used to be, and I think it's time I gave this game another chance. And I think, me and Redman have been playing a lot of fighting games lately. We played Injustice last week. We played hours upon hours of MKX before that. I'm just a little more optimistic than I used to be, so the idea of a KP3 is not as offensive now.
Here's the other thing about MK11 that I think you should maybe be wary of is if you look at what they're doing with Injustice 2, where the returning characters play pretty much the same as they did in the first one, MK11 might be the same engine as MK10.
Yeah, that's true. I thought about that too. I said a long time ago, MK11 is the first MK game where I did not want them to reinvent the wheel, which they always do. And God, the one time, you're right. I think you're absolutely right about that.
I would actually say that the time is probably right for kind of a midway, add a bunch of characters, but don't make a story thing out of it. Give us a big clusterfuck, plotless tag team fighter. I think it'd be good to have a thing like that at this moment. Just give everyone all the characters that they're missing, shoot them all together, give people a tag team mode, have fun with it. Exactly like Tekken Tag Tournament.
Well, Tag Armageddon would be fun for me. But I also think...
I didn't say Armageddon, I just said the characters people are missing. Not the same thing.
Okay, Tag Trilogy.
There you go.
I don't know, man. Like, I'd love to see Motaro with three very... Well, what's up, Cyborg? Yeah?
I didn't say anything. Fuck you.
I heard noise. I heard noise come from that blue Iron Man I'm staring
It's
at.
probably the chair. Deal with it.
It's a good chair.
The thing that gets me hype about Combat Pack 3, the only thing, and also about Mortal Kombat 11, even if a whole bunch of this game is retained, and it probably will be, if it's the same console generation anyway, is just I want something to make me not think of Alien when I think of Mortal Kombat X. That's the thing that's keeping me away from playing Mortal Kombat X right now. It's just like this aliens, this weird thing that's running around with things coming out of it. It's scary. It's very scary. But if Combat Pack 3 comes along, there will be a brand new piece of bullshit in the game that will make me forget all about Alien, and it might be a piece of bullshit that is less weird. I don't know.
I can't imagine anything worse than Alien.
I'm just going to put this out there. Motaro was also a weird thing running around with weird things coming out of him. I'm just saying.
We never saw him again, and maybe that's the case with Alien. That makes me happy.
Oh, but we can't animate Motaro in 3D.
Derp, derp.
Oh, stop it. Fucking Midway. Look, Midway was broke. That's what I'm putting down. Or they were lazy. Like, God of War was doing it for fun. It's not that hard, guys. Come on.
Still using that excuse, though. Like, I saw 2 weeks ago one of them on Twitter say that we can't do Motaro, and you don't know what you're really asking for when you ask for him.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
that.
They can't animate Fujin either.
It was who was it? It might have been Boone.
Was it
It
Rigo?
might have been.
Is it Rigo? That sounds like a thing Rigo would say.
Yeah,
that does
Rigo.
sound right.
Just threw that guy under the bus. Thank you guys for jumping on there. I like it.
No. It sounds correct. But do we want to talk about Alien now, or do we want to talk about Alien later? Because we got to talk about Alien.
Let's segue because we're
kind of veered onto the topic. Why not?
Alien, people were at. There was a big thread about should we ban Alien. Generally speaking, I'm against banning, and it doesn't matter. Evo's less than a month away. Even if he should be banned, it's too late. He has to rock out now. But
it doesn't matter. Sonic Fox is going to win no matter who you ban.
Well, I don't know about that, man.
Is this a thing that can be patched? And if so, why haven't they done it?
That's a really good. It'd be easy to patch. Just fix his hitbox. I mean, that's the problem. Is he's the only character in the game that if he goes from stand block to crouch block, his hitbox can't be hit by like certain high and mid attacks. That's the real problem.
You know what the thing of it might be? Patches cost a company money. Whenever you send that shit out to Sony to put up on their servers, there's a fee attached to it. And if they're really, really happy with the balance that they've got going on with the rest of the cast, maybe they're looking at that one thing about Alien and going, does this justify the cost of putting another patch up? I don't know about that.
Then why put out the ESL money? Why blow $100,000 on Sonic Fox and Foxy Grandpa? Foxy Grandpa's saved ESL. He fucking saved the ESL Grand Finals, in my opinion. God bless Foxy Grandpa. Yeah, because Molina honestly is probably better than Alien, all things considered. Not as dirty and not as... At least Molina plays by the rules. Alien does not play by the rules of the game. You cannot trip guard him after a cross-up, and mix-ups, not all of them, but most I'm not even sure about most, I gotta be careful about that, but a lot of very important mix-ups to the high-level play, do not work on this character in most, if not the majority of situations.
You know
God, I
what?
can't talk today. Those mean the same thing. But anyway, yes, go on. What's up, Django?
I'm all turned around on this. First of all, I'm sorry, Rigo. I think you're right. I don't think you guys can handle Mataro. If you guys are having this kind of trouble with Alien, you guys are probably right. You guys can't do Mataro.
He's a fucking boss character. He's not supposed to be balanced.
It's
Oh,
okay.
that's-
If they can't do it, don't make them feel bad. Just give them a
true.
lolly, pat them on the head, and they can
It's
go
fine.
their
It's okay. It's okay.
I
You
think
guys
it's 2
just
years
It's
away.
too late
They have
anyway.
to
They
get
already
back.
ruined MK3. We don't need centaurs for anything else.
we'll have a Shaolin Monks 3, and it'll do Mortal Kombat 2. It's the other way around, I think. I don't know. But no, I think I haven't actually. Listen, I've been very scared of Alien. He looks like he plays dumb, but I don't know how many aliens I've actually fought. I kind of want to go online and see how my Takeda shenanigans work against this thing. Probably not very well, but
Well, Takeda is probably at the very least a top 10 character. Takeda is unbelievably strong. I think Takeda would do well anyway because he can play in many ways the same range game that Alien can. Not quite as safe.
Tim,
Yeah.
shh, Takeda sucks.
No, I'm not playing. that game.
Takeda, since day one,
pushing that
Takeda has
narrative.
been asked.
Keep
This
playing
is
your
Your
broken.
boy is out of line, sir, and he needs
No,
to be taken
no.
care of.
Takeda is ass. He's broken. He's horrible. He's not broken. I'm sorry. Wait. He's bad.
What's up, Razor? What's going on?
Alien's broken. Fix him.
Does anybody else have anything to say about Alien?
Just
I have
if
never
KP3 yeah, what's up?
I have never to this day played a single match against a human or against the AI that had Alien on my screen. That is how little I care to see this thing.
Hmm.
I don't know. The character's dumb. He's
Really
not
love that
broken,
none
but-
of your opponents have picked him.
As in, I stopped when Combat Pack 2 came out.
Oh, that'll do it.
That is just how much this thing put a knife into my heart.
And see, man, if it's
I like
Chucky,
Triborg, man.
I would rather Chucky.
Except for Triborg. Triborg
being
and like
shitty.
Triborg and Bo, I gave a shot to, but that was really about it.
Bo Raicho's in this fucking game, isn't he?
Yes,
He
I
might
forgot
be.
about that. Wow. That's cool.
It is kind of cool, actually.
It's kind of cool.
Let's talk about solutions. What do we do about Alien? He'll be if KP3 happens, he's patched. This is not even an
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Turn him
So
into
then-
Baraka. You could patch the skin. You could maybe patch out a couple of moves involving his tail or his face hugging this, and just turn him into Baraka. And
Or get
Well, doesn't
Baraka
he
a
have-
tail.
Baraka that
Does he
shoots
have a
acid
tail?
out of an invisible tail, yeah.
Why not? Just
That would be madness. If I'm getting hit by an invisible tail by Baraka, you better just make my whips invisible too, man.
Oh God.
That would be
just-
fun.
Why?
It's-
You're broken already. Stop it.
It's just like Shiva back in the old SNES Ultimate MK3 cartridge. You picked her up on random select. The problem was she was not a selectable character in that game. You just got a bunch of invisible pixels and some glitches, and whenever you hit it or hit you, game crashed. I did that over Alien.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Yeah, it's great. Great feature.
No, yeah, that's the solution for Alien. You put out Combat Pack 3, it's Chucky or some shit. He's way more broken than Alien. The hitbox is tiny, it doesn't exist, and we stop talking about Alien.
Well,
That's the
I
solution.
am looking forward to that Mega Man in MVC bullshit with Chucky. That'll be a good time.
Think they make his
fun
voice
for
anywhere
everyone.
near as irritating?
Well, there are NBC rumors abounding.
Yeah, that's true. Marvel's finally kind of broken the silence in MVC and what they didn't break the silence, but they referenced it. So
All they said is they'd be willing to put out a 4 one day.
Well, that and
that's good. I didn't even think that was
Yeah.
true.
they shut down their whole way the gaming division worked when they shut down Disney Infinity like a month or so ago. So, and I think there's a new guy in charge now who's like, maybe there's a life outside of Disney Infinity and mobile games. And we saw the Sony Spider-Man game.
Yeah,
That actually
that-
looks pretty sick.
I mean, the costume's
hopefully-
weird, but
I just think that Venom wants his insignia back. Other than that, it looks great.
That's another
I-
problem. Like in Marvel, well, in the first Marvel vs. Capcom, if you use the default color for Venom, he's fucking sky blue. Now, can you imagine how that could be confusing to someone who doesn't know the character's supposed to be black? Does anyone think that could be a little bit confusing to anyone?
Well,
no.
It pissed me
Am I
off.
alone here?
What I used to like in the 90s cartoon, his highlights were like half blue, half red, like he was always near a police car or something.
I know what you're talking about, and I thought it looked good. I don't know if it made any sense, but it looked good.
I liked it.
Venom's always looked great as a character. I love that design.
Yeah, he's like good. But I think animation's always suffered from that though. Like Magneto's hands are purple, and now they're red, and now they're skin colored. Like this is the way it always goes with cartoons.
Yeah.
I will say, Prime has no faceplate and no mouth. Nothing. Just two eyes and a nose and a blank space.
That's what that is.
I do think Venom even looked good in Spider-Man 3. I thought, honestly, once he put the mask on, which he wore for like 30 seconds,
Shut up.
Eddie Brock looked good. No, I thought it looked great.
No.
Like in
Thank
the costume,
you.
he looked fine.
He had
I
like a
agree with
little
this.
head or a big head. I don't remember which one it was. It was weird looking.
The real question is, did anybody care about him before he put on the mask?
Absolutely
Eddie Brock?
not.
I think that's like Eddie Brock's whole backstory.
Were there
He's
things
a
that
big
happened
guy.
before the church, or?
Well, then the church happened, and the symbiote was like, no one cared about me before I put on the human, and they were a match made in Marvel.
And it was basically like, I hate Peter Parker. Oh my god, that's so great. I hate Peter Parker too. Did you know he's Spider-Man? I did not. Let's go kill him. Sure.
That's all I needed.
I didn't hate Topher Grace as Eddie Brock. I
I
thought
like
they
the way
were,
they wrote him, but he was fine, I thought.
well, they were trying to do a thing where he was basically evil Peter. That's why he was a skinny photographer guy instead of like the bodybuilder he is in the comics.
Well, as a performance, it was fine. I just don't like how they wrote the character to be such a... Because, I mean, Eddie Brock is an asshole, but he's not evil. Like, that's what I like about the character, is he's a good guy who's also a big asshole. That's what makes the character interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
just
got
a
that 90s
douchebag.
anti-hero thing going on.
I grew up with that. That's a part of me, to be honest with you.
Like everyone
I
I
like
know
it.
now, everyone I know now
Slime
wants Eddie
Punisher.
Brock back in the comics as the normal Venom. Flash Thompson was a cool experiment and it worked for a little while, but I'm tired of it. I
Isn't
want
he
my
still in
Eddie Venom
space?
back.
Well,
Yes, he
you're going
is.
to have to wrestle
He's
him
been in
out of
space
Brian
now.
Michael Bendis' cold dead hand, sir.
Or you know what? Since Eddie Brock is now in the comics running around as Toxin, and the symbiotes can change their color, all he has to do is just change to black and go, hey, my name's Venom again. Easily.
What happened to Anti-Venom? Is Anti-Venom not a thing anymore?
Anti-Venom has...
stopped being a thing.
Ah.
I actually liked him best as Anti-Venom.
The symbiote was boiled down to like cure New York's population of some epidemic during the Spider Island storyline.
It's kind of sad. That's Eddie Brock's friend. That's his boy.
I think it went willingly. I don't know. Herm. Yes.
All right, so
Aw.
that wraps it up for Alien. Let's move on to Injustice conversation.
I liked it. Discussions of Alien ended with a symbiote.
Yes, it's very fitting.
Which is an alien.
That was
On topic.
intentional.
It is on topic.
Indeed.
Okay.
Okay, Injustice 2. So, where do you even start with that?
Electric Boogaloo.
Well,
That's
we
about
have-
how I feel.
We haven't heard Django's or Shadowloo's thoughts, so why don't you guys start?
You or me, sir.
You. Definitely you.
All right. Don't care. Next. No. Really.
Wow.
Saw that one coming.
I wanna, and maybe I'll give it a shot, but you know what everyone agrees on? It looks so much like Injustice 1. We're picking up right where we left off. It just looks like we're adding new characters to Injustice 1. The problem was I didn't care for Injustice that much. Not because it was a bad game, it just felt really awkward and stiff to me. And what I'm seeing now looks awkward and stiff. And that's
Yeah,
just the
yeah.
gameplay perspective. And you know what else? This is where we get to the shit that I really legitimately despise, because Gorilla Grodd looks like fucking Optimus Primal and looks stupid in armor, and Atrocitus looks like a kidney bean with fucking attitude.
I do agree with Atrocitus. Atrocitus looks awful.
All
I
you
do like
had
Grodd,
to-
though. Grodd looks good.
All you had to do was give him the Baraka teeth, and he'd be okay. They couldn't even do that. He just looks like he's just, I don't know, covered in scab armor, bald, red, and angry.
Like
He
Grodd
looks like a
looks
sex
something.
sponge.
Thank you.
The hell is a
Ew.
sex sponge?
Points.
What is? What?
Points
It's
for,
atrocitus. It's an atrocitus.
points for having Dexstar show up, and that's pretty cool to see. But I want to care about this so much.
Is that
but
the
I
cat's
don't.
name?
The cat's name is Dexstar. Yes,
Cat is sick. The cat's like the best part by far.
Dexstar the Destroyer. Thank you very much. That
It
cat
sounds
was
like-
instantly popular when it debuted in the
It
comics.
sounds like it was supposed. It's like the arch enemy of Rocket Raccoon.
No.
I'd
no.
watch that fight.
He'd have a more
I would so.
natural
He had a
rivalry
fight
with Chip.
I think that was it. I think that he and Chip actually had a couple of scraps in the comics.
Chip is
I'm gonna
the Chip
throw
is
out
the
a-
Squirrel
what's
Green Lantern. If you don't know who Chip is,
Chip.
I was not aware of that. No.
he's awesome.
Well,
He
technically,
sounds great.
Chip is an alien from a race that looks like squirrels,
Yes.
whereas Dexstar is an actual cat from Earth.
That's true.
And
Remember
Rocket
right-
Raccoon is not a raccoon.
He's a
It's true.
genetically engineered raccoon.
He's a genetic.
Okay. Continuing along the path.
You're gonna say rocket,
really-
weren't you? You're
Came
gonna
out
say
mumbled that I
rocket.
said genetic.
You were gonna say rocket. Just
I was gonna say it.
genetically engineered rocket. He's disguised like a raccoon, but he's actually a rocket.
Half of his name is correct.
I like that retcon. I'm
All right,
cool.
Shaoloo, we got atrocities,
And
so
we
we
have-
got Grodd out of the way. What's up? What else do you got for us?
We have a horse for working for the Indigo Lanterns, who is actually a broom in a horse suit. No, okay.
That's not true.
Who the hell else is in there? Supergirl looks pretty good, I guess. I like the choice to stick with the shorter hair. Looks
Yeah.
good for her.
Definitely.
No issues with her. Who the hell
Her
else is there?
face has neither syndrome.
Well, I mean, that's not her fault. The armor, though, the armor mechanic. Oh, God Christ. As if I hadn't just stopped caring about DC Comics for trying for years to be new and extreme, and look at how shiny and buff we're looking in our armor on every fucking person, regardless of whether or not they actually need it. Now, at a time where they're trying to get ready to throw all this shit out, start fresh, get back to what people love about the characters, and try to get a bit more of a classic bent to the designs. What
People
happened?
love Superman's clavicles. It's crazy.
Yes.
To be fair, NetherRealm probably didn't get the whole memo on the rebirth, so now they're just
Yeah,
like,
apparently
you know,
not.
like
How do you?
they're like, we're armoring up, right, guys? Oh,
Fairly poorly timed.
and Jeff Johns just decided not to tell him that day. He's like, you know what? They won't listen anyway. I'm just gonna let them go. I got this Zack Snyder asshole to deal with.
no, it's
busy.
probably he arrived at NetherRealm that day, and he's gonna go tell them about how they're gonna do the whole rebirth thing, and they're getting away
He
from
got
the
phone
armor.
call.
And then before he could say, he's like, "Here, I need to talk to you about something." Then Ed Boon's like, "No, I need to talk about you something." All right, I guess you go first. Oh, look at all this sweet armor we're doing. People are gonna love this. And then Jeff Johns is like, "Oh, oh, what did you have to what did you have to tell me?" Oh, nothing. It's nothing.
Or he just walks into the office and sees armor concepts all over the walls and just turns right back around and walks out.
That's
Never even has.
that's what started DC to do the rebirth, is they finally realized. Like, oh, that's what people hate. Oh, okay.
It does look surreal to me. Like the armor is. I'm still really undecided how I feel about it. Like when I saw the initial trailer, I thought some of it looked good, some of it not so much, but I was okay. The more I looked at it, the more I was just like, why does Superman have goatee armor? Why the fuck does like Atrocitus have like anything? Why does he have anything on him?
Yeah, the
Why-
fucking Gambit cowl on Superman. Like,
Is it strange? Because I mean, it's not bad. Honestly, I don't think it looks that bad. It's weird to me. It's
Did
so
you get one of those in the
weird.
90s?
here's the thing.
Everyone
When
got one of those in
Gambit
the 90s.
started wearing it, it didn't make sense then either. It's like, why would you wear a mask that covers the back of your head and everybody can see your face?
Jim Lee loved it, dude.
I just figured it was like stupid back of head armor or something. Because that's just how crazy Gambit rolled, more than me. Ask about our mutant this.
Because if there's
To be
anything
fair.
that's dumb to cover, is the back of your head.
I don't
To
know.
be fair, I will say in regards to Superman, if you look at like old depictions of Jor-El, sometimes he's wearing that shit. So you could say it's like a Krypton fashion thing.
Well, like I said, it doesn't look bad. Even when I was 8 years old, I thought Gambit's head armor looked amazing. I'm like, that's badass. I wish I
Gambit's
could pull
never
that
looked
off.
bad. Just to be clear,
I thought he
Okay.
was. I thought he was very daring to pull off like light blue, silver, brown, and fucking hot pink.
Yeah,
Hot
that's
pink.
true.
I thought
Nothing
his
really
pink-
makes sense.
His
Gambit's
pink
whole
was so
design
hot.
is kinda.
That kind of color combination wouldn't work for fucking anything else. I don't think.
Well, he's got like metal cobras on his fucking knees, like it kind of like wraps. He's got like metal coils on his fucking calves. I don't get it at all. I mean, it makes sense from an armor standpoint, but how does that bend?
what
Like,
the fuck
I
is
run
on
in a
his
spot.
chest?
Grew up on
What
one
is
hell of
that
a bender
thing?
book in the '90s around.
I think that weird net shape on his chest is like
Yeah.
supposed to form a pentagram. Actually,
Ooh,
Are we
I'm
sure
right?
Gambit's designer wasn't drunk?
he's a
Really?
satanic Cajun. What the fuck? I don't
snake
care.
knees.
He just got cooler. Okay.
Everybody loves old Remy.
Is there a biological reason why he has black eyes with red pupils? Is that ever
well,
explained?
actually,
Yes.
he has a little known power that he can like hypnotize people
Yes.
on top of the throwing cards that explode.
I thought that was just like because he was so sexy that he can make people do what he wanted to. I didn't think
No,
it was
no,
actually a
like, he
mutant.
almost never uses it. But way back in the '90s when he was first introduced, he also had like a hypnotic stare.
Dude, even the staff in the cartoon, he hardly ever used that fucking staff. Like, ever. Like, everything was like kinetic card. The whole fucking series, and like every like 5 episodes, he would use the fucking staff. Like,
Check
It's
out my
true, but
awesome
what's
card
awesome
buns. Don't mess
Is
with
in
the
the
game.
video games, he always used that shit. So he was always staff tier, which means I always mained him.
he was great in all the games. I love him
All
in
the
Versus
games.
games.
All the games.
So good.
All right, so Injustice 2.
Yes.
I like the
Yeah.
I like the gear. I like the gear. Okay.
I am worried about this customizable gear system, which I'm not going to start ringing any DLC like pay to win bells or anything, but people who are freaking out about like it sounding a little bit like Street Fighter Cross Tekken's gem system, I can't blame them. I'd like to know more about this. I'm not going to freak out, but my eyebrows are raised and there's a siren going off at the back of my head. I mean, it shouldn't be a problem as long as you have like a dedicated lobby to unfucked with default configuration characters.
There's a problem
That's
with
fine.
that, though. They can't just do that because some moves, at least right now, this is alpha build, I assume, but right now, some special moves are armor specific. They do not exist unless you have the armor. So a pure vanilla version might not work out too well.
You know what? In Street Fighter 2, in most of its incarnations, how many moves max did a character have? 3? 4 if they were
Sounds
lucky?
right.
I could get by on a game that has a bunch of fighting game a bunch of characters that has 4 or 5 moves. I know it's common practice these days to have upwards of 8 or 9 with different variations for 3 of them, but you know, as the years went by, Tekken and shit kind of spoiled everyone. And sometimes I believe that simplicity works best. You give
I
me
mean-
Scorpion, and like, still to this day, 95% of the time, I'm using mostly that teleport punch and oftentimes that spear. It's still, after all these years, what I'm most at home with is those 2 moves.
I'm just talking from history here, man. I mean, because of variations, you know, Raiden doesn't get a teleport in all of them, and every one of the Nethercast thinks variations are balls. You know, just I can't imagine that not happening twice. You know what happened?
I don't
to
think
Superman
I don't
loses
think
the-
variations are balls.
I don't
Well,
think they are
Django.
either, but I think that they need to be a little bit better used.
I
their
think they're
biggest
balls
fan.
enough for 2 people. So
I'm indifferent.
I love them,
Angel's got the biggest balls of them all.
and I like the gear system.
well, here's my question, because they weren't exactly clear about it when they described the idea that some of the armor would grant you special moves. It sounded more like they were going to upgrade special moves. Like the example Ed gave was Batman would throw a batarang, and then there'd be a version that would level it up to 3 batarangs or something like that.
I think that is the dominant philosophy, but Ketchum and Mustard, when they played, they said there isn't an interchange between special moves. Not maybe like all the time for every character, but it does affect some characters, and we've only seen 6 right now, so we don't know how widespread that's going to be just yet. But for the most part, you're right. For the most part, it is a stats boost.
This is super interesting. Super interesting. If I had to imagine, first of all, I'm going to give NRS the benefit of the doubt. This is a, you know, I think I said this somewhere, probably not. But when I first heard this announcement, I was just thinking of that fucking, you know, Willy Wonka meme, like, with my hand on my fist, it's like, how are you gonna pull this off? Like, this sounds crazy, but I think they can do it. They did all right with variations. Variations weren't broken. Sometimes they weren't super useful, but they weren't broken necessarily. I think they probably have something in mind for the tournament goers and whatnot, because on paper this sounds crazy, and they didn't explain hardly anything about this, gameplay wise, very well at all. Anything about Injustice 2 at E3. If I had to imagine, I would say that they probably have, like, each character probably has like 3 or 4 special moves that they can acquire and like for gear, but like they're the same moves, you know what I mean? So if Batman gets Kryptonite gauntlets, then his special move that he gains is a Batarang that's enhanced, but it's the same Batarang animation and move that he gets for Yellow Lantern, gauntlets. Like, it's the same thing. The properties are a little bit different, but that's kind of how you can kind of keep it balanced. It's not like a billion unique special moves that are for every character or whatever. I don't know. I'm spitballing there.
Well, aesthetics aside, I absolutely agree with you, because I think this is a necessary experiment, because the one frontier fighting games haven't done a great job on is diversifying characters within the same, within mirror matches. That's been great among the Sub-Zero community, the Kano community. It's hard not to play the optimized style, and we need to give players more freedom within a character, which I thought
Except
Variations
for
was
whenever
going to do.
you and I play Sub-Zero and MKX.
Yeah.
Then it's wonderful. It's great.
It's pretty great.
It's great.
Man, we need to get more matches in, dude. We really need to play more. Like,
It'll happen. I'm all turned around. That's like I said, let's alien thing. I'm going back in. It's going to happen. I bust out my Grandmaster. What?
We need Redman to learn aliens so we can go online and not be horrified. That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to do that. No. If I
learn. How are we going to learn?
But dude, I learn by fighting randos online. That way I can just imagine them as people that I hate or something. I don't care. They're not real.
I think I see where you're going with this.
Yeah, that's how I deal with this kind of thing. Injustice 2, let's get back there. It's crazy that they didn't talk about that stuff like the meter burn dashing. And they didn't talk about the reduced stiffness that you're talking about, like the cooldown, the recovery for dashes, and stuff like that I heard people actually play the game with. Yeah, it sounds faster. It sounds a little, it sounds better. It sounds like they're listening to all the complaints that were about Injustice 1, and they were like, we'll tone that down, and, you can throw meter at your problems now, and that'll be fine. And it sounds good. And if you know how to play Batman, you can jump in and play Batman. I know how to block against Batman crap, so I'm happy. And I'm looking forward to, getting my Dick Grayson back. It's going to be great.
Speaking of Dick,
actually,
thank you for specifying Grayson in that sentence, by the way.
Speaking of Dick, how would you, and characters returning, how does everybody think? How does everybody feel about them potentially giving certain characters a lot of their normals back and combos back that they had before, and just expanding on them a little bit to freshen them up, if it means we get a bigger roster at the start?
I'm for it.
I'm fine with it.
This works for me.
Shadowloo's like, I didn't even play the first. This is great. It's all new to me.
This is completely irrelevant. Can Batman still throw a Batarang and drop down from the ceiling? Okay, that's what I remember doing. Good job.
I mean, I thought Injustice 1 felt janky as hell, but more characters. I'm only going to play it for like a week, and then I'll put it away, so...
Oh, this is going to be a fun...
Here's what I find weird about the roster. So, like, and this is kind of like a story question, because there are a lot of dead dudes in Injustice 1.
Okay, so
like, how does Dick Grayson come over if they don't do the multiple Earths thing again? How does Green Arrow come back? How Lex Luthor and Shazam are dead? And it's like, are those guys the guys?
Shazam dead or lobotomized? I just remember him being lobotomized.
Oh, he bored straight through his fucking skull. He is dead.
Okay.
Well, I guess if you combine the two universes within the multiverse, everyone's still alive, right?
Well, yeah, everybody from Earth 1 is still alive. Like, all the normal Earth characters can come back at any time, but...
See, Razor, this is, after all, comics. I I think I've realized that I've hit the point where I would expect more of an explanation for an MK character coming back to life than I would for a DC Comics or Marvel Comics character coming back to life, because they always just do.
Well, sure,
just-
but I guess I want to know like where the story is going to fall in terms of, is it going to be entirely contained in the Injustice universe this time, or will it have crossover again?
Well, can't
Black
Race just throw
Lanterns.
everyone in the Lazarus pit? Just make everyone Red Hood?
Black Lanterns.
I'm just saying.
Bring them back as Black
just-
Lanterns. Yeah,
Will
Oh,
they do it
maybe.
2 games in a row? Will they do it 2 games in a row?
I mean, both ideas, both the Black Lantern and the Lazarus Pit, both have their problems. Aesthetically, I like the idea of the Black Lantern. I like them in a story context. I've never wanted to play as Black Lantern Batman, and I especially did not want to play as Black Lantern Aquaman, although that would be an improvement over... God, Aquaman looks so fucking bad, right? My gosh. But anyway, yeah, I mean, they
So
both have
true.
their problems aesthetically, I think.
I was going to say, like, as far as the gear system goes, my final thoughts are I don't care because the gearless primaries look way better than the ones in Injustice 1 did. ... except Aquaman.
Yeah, he looks like fucking Kiefer Sutherland chewing on lemons. It looks so bad, and I don't know why he looks that bad. Like, he had a perfectly good face, and they just
gonna
ripped it off
Google
like
that.
they didn't care. I don't know what happened with that character.
I find it weird that they
Kiefer
traded the orange shirt for a Shao
Sutherland.
Kahn harness.
Yeah, what the fuck? That's like the coolest thing about Aquaman is fucking scale armor, and that. Oh man, I don't get it at all. Like they've. And honestly, from a gameplay perspective, he is the best looking character in my opinion right now. But even Supergirl,
He
like
was
if we take
fucking broken in the first one.
Yeah, he was top 3 for sure, I think. As bad as Supergirl looks, I think the core design is good. She looks like she's done like 10 years of cocaine, like yesterday. But other than that, the design works. They can polish this. I don't know how they're going to fix vanilla Aquaman. I don't know what they can do to fix that. Unless they just completely, like, just take a Mach 3 and just shave his face off and put it with something slightly better at least. I don't know what they can do to make that character better. I keep seeing Cyborg's icon like shimmying, but it's no noise is coming.
He's just breathing heavily into the microphone.
No.
His chair is breathing heavily into the microphone.
Trying to think of what else. The reason
What do
why I
you think
like
of the designs?
well, the reason why I like the costumes or the gear and all of that is not for the gameplay aspects. Well, I mean, I kind of like it for the gameplay because I do believe they'll have their non-gear system modes. As Ed Boon even said, I'd be surprised if we don't have like a specific one for gear, specific one not for gear type of stuff, because they're gonna appeal to everybody. They're not gonna shoehorn. They're not gonna sweep the tournament crowd under the rug that just want a vanilla game that don't have all those weird modifiers going on. They're not gonna just completely shelter them. But what I think is
Aquaman ran on some sort of beard system and not a gear system.
beard system.
Beard system?
Beard system.
But the
Different
reason
things
why
given different types of a beard, which adds to a fun house.
the reason why I like the gear though is because I think for the most part I think it's led to a lot of cool things, and I think they said something like 80 pieces per character, and I like that you can adjust the pieces individually. So if you like certain arm guards or gauntlets or shoulder guards or chest pieces, whatever the hell, capes, I don't give a crap, face mask, helmets, any of that kind of crap, you can change all of that individually to make your own version of the character, which I think is really cool. But on top of that, honestly, more than anything, I think what I appreciate about the gear system is kind of just the smallest aspect of it. You can change the color scheme of the character. I think that's
Yeah, that
awesome.
is
I think
tight.
that's really cool. Like, if you want Supergirl to have, pink laser beams instead of red, and her outfit to have different color schemes. So instead of blue and red, gold and black, that's not an option. I don't think I didn't see that on there. But just to give you an idea, I think that's really cool because it's kind of giving you those player 2 colors, but they're up to you. It's not, I don't know. I just like customization like that. I like it's still staying within the theme of the characters, but they're giving you a bunch of pieces, and some of them are even like Aquaman has different, tridents he can use, and they look different with different properties. Like that stuff's
You
kind
can
of cool.
take his shoes off.
Sure. You know, whatever. I mean, maybe
I
he
saw his
will
barefoot
have.
skin. I don't know why that was there, but maybe it's an armor thing.
Maybe, and then maybe there is a chest piece that gives him his scale mail back. I don't. Who knows? But I like that idea of, say, we get a roster of 30 people or 28 people off the get go, and all these pieces for all these different characters, you can kind of form your own version that you like. Say, you know, with the female characters, Temp likes his open thighs, so
I
not.
do. That's true.
So, you know, his bare thighs, not open, because open would be disturbing.
I didn't know this was a thing.
But say you like the bare thighs, and Wonder Woman's base costume has, like, just, you know, the pants again or whatever, and you can open those bad boys up, or whatever
Jesus
character.
Christ.
So I
Then,
can see Tim Curry's hairy thighs. Like, is that the goal?
I don't-
Getting uncomfortably
That-
erotic up there.
they've gotten better at their female
Do
models.
it. Yeah, you got to do it to the dudes too, man.
Sure. You can get your...
Can't
Equal
wait to put
opportunity
Dick Grayson
thigh opening.
back in those little green underwear, and that's it.
But no, I don't know. I like it. And I think the whole aspect of leveling up your character adds some single-player value, because not everybody does spend all their time in, like, training or playing online ranked and stuff like that. And I get bored of, like, the towers over and over, so maybe I just want to collect the parts for my favorite character. Say Fate's in the game, say Katana's in the game, or a couple other characters I really want. And now I get to have a bunch of different ways to make this character look the way I want them to look. I don't know. I just think that's cool, and to give them different special powers. It's kind of like
I agree.
It's kind of a neat casual thing, and then you'll still have your competitive modes where I'm hoping in the competitive modes it's not just like no armor at all. I'm hoping in the competitive modes you can have all the armors, it's just they don't have properties to them. So that way you can still have the character designed the way you want. I still think that's a benefit to have.
I do
I'm gonna,
agree.
I'm gonna start a lobby. I'm gonna start a lobby.
Lobby?
Everyone is gonna look like Strife. The Strife fashion lobby. I want all the armor. I want to make them look as stupid as humanly possible.
Googling.
Wonderful.
What's a strife?
He's
It's a thing I should know.
He's a clone of Cable.
Wears
of
really
course.
stupid looking armor.
Me and
Armor
Sandra
all
were
over
talking
himself.
about Strife in the Wonder Woman comic. How did I forget?
Yeah,
We couldn't remember her name in the
That's a
fucking
different
episode
Strife.
either.
yeah.
Oh.
Strife with a Y is
Oh, of course.
because he's
I
from the
still got
90s.
fucking Wonder Woman Strife. That didn't change anything. It said showing results for Strife with an I. Thank you, Google. Fuck you.
What is that dude's name? That Grifter. I was thinking of Grifter for some reason.
Grifter's
Oh.
pretty 90s.
No, Grifter's hella 90s, but he's not.
He's not as 90s as he could be.
No, no one's as 90s as Cable. Unless I'm
Dude,
forgetting someone.
Shadowloo, Strife looks amazing. What are you talking about? It looks great.
Okay, give me a picture. I want to see.
He's like a cooler, shinier Galactus.
Let me
He's a
see all the
walking
pouches. There better be
cheese
pouches. Where's the pouches?
I got you covered, Django. One
I'm
second,
gonna be
brother.
disappointed.
Pouches are under the armor, I'm sure.
There's no pouch, dude. Your argument's invalid.
All right. Well, what other thoughts on Injustice 2?
I did want to count. Well,
Okay.
I was just.
Okay. Go ahead.
You want to go first?
What the hell are you talking
No.
Somebody
All right.
just
Well, I was
talk.
going to say, it's not that I disagree with the customizations. I do think you're on the right track, Cyborg.
Silver
I do
Samurai.
hope.
The fuck are you talking about?
This isn't Silver Samurai?
I don't
No.
know.
This
guys,
looks like
help me
Silver
out.
Samurai and Wolverine had a baby. Come on.
Silver Samurai needs to give Strife some fashion tips. I'll say that much.
I
How
don't
to
know.
wear
Did I post
silver
a picture
belt.
of Silver Samurai? Because I'm super confused right
This
now.
looks like Silver Samurai to me.
I think that it's if David Bowie was the Silver Samurai.
Talk,
Oh, that's Strife.
keep talking
That's
about
the-
how I'm on the right track. Where were you going with this?
Yes. Well, the thing is,
You were talking about how I'm right. Go back to that.
Go
the
back to
idea of
that.
a fighting game is to pick your favorite character, or the idea of a DC fighting game is to be Batman, to be Superman. I think the idea of customizations, in a way, is counter to that, because if you want to be like the definitive version of Batman and you have to use the customizations to be viable, that scares me. Now, even if there is a vanilla version, it's probably going to be a vanilla version with a limited amount of customizations.
Sure.
So even if I'm a big Batman fan, I don't have a choice. I have to play as Commander Shepard Batman, or I'm not going to be viable in a tournament match.
lot of,
That could be a problem. So
lot of
think
these
you
characters,
I think
though.
you accidentally stumble onto something that's very, very important, though.
A lot
Like
of these
if you-
characters.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Go on.
I know, yes.
Go on.
Yes.
Go on. I'll just say
I don't even. What was it? Oh,
Blah.
right.
For your butt.
A proper DC
Blah.
character like fighting game. If you want to be the definitive Batman, you're gonna get your shit pushed in all day to Superman. Like, let's be fair here. Like,
Yeah.
if you know, there's a few overpowered characters in DC. There's one or two that are out there. And if you're gonna have a fighting game where, you know, I'm gonna play Dick Grayson, we got to think of something here. We got to have a device. What's our device? If it's Kryptonian pills, so be it. But armor, yeah, the armor deal kind of, you know, it kind of works along with that. I think that's kind of inevitable.
I don't think anyone.
Definitive.
It looks like we're looking at fan art sometimes when I'm looking at the Injustice 2 gameplay, and I feel like it's not bad by itself. But if you do want the definitive DC fighting game experience, I feel like that counters that to an extent.
Okay, and to respond to that is
Yes. Huh?
basically
is
what
it's different for different people.
Plot armor.
Sure.
We haven't seen plot armor yet.
Okay,
That would be
what I was
sick.
trying
Oh,
to say
that'd be
though
sick.
was that's why I said in the competitive modes, I would like the armor to be an option. Just have it have no property, like have all the stat changing and the special move granting. Take that all away. Have a bare bones mode where it's just the competitive. Everybody has the same character, but you can still use the customization just for aesthetic purposes only. And then you get both sides of what you're just saying. You can play your definitive Batman if you want to play him with no armor or any of that type of stuff against people that have armor, and you're both on the same playing field. I think you need to have different modes that accommodate to all those types of things.
I agree, and I think
Let
it's
the
actually
people build whatever
incredibly
kind of-
easy to do. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Right.
Well, I mean, like,
Provided you can include enough different types of armor, whatnot, from most versions of the character, you should be okay. Definitive, like I was trying to say, is different for different individuals. These characters are so old and so multifaceted that there are so many versions of them, and no one likes the same one as their neighbor does. I mean, personally, if I can make my guy look like '89 Batman, even if it makes me weak as
Ooh.
shit with bad priority, I'm going to take that option.
You're right. I would prefer 91 Batman, or was it 92? Where was Batman Returns?
Returns where his abs have been replaced by a grate, but it's otherwise
Absolutely.
The
See, I'm like
It's so hot.
I'm
That's
like
me.
dark blue and gray Batman, so I'm on a different plane there.
Here's the thing. I would absolutely love that concept where you can build classic costumes out of the pieces they give you. My question is, if that's where they're going, then why did they choose to advertise it with the weird Commander Shepard armor instead of something recognizable?
that's kind of what I was feeling, you know?
Well, they kind of gave you Batman Beyond in a way. They didn't.
Kinda, but not.
You
Like,
just-
it doesn't
well-
even...
You just remove the helmet and you go with the normal kind of cowl, or I guess you give them. Maybe they'll do a full-on black. Like, I don't know. Who knows? They said there's going to be a ton of pieces per character. They said over 10,000 overall.
I just
So,
feel like
I don't know.
10,000
You should-
overall, I
you
kind of
should
find it
lead
hard to
with
believe
your
they
best
would put
material,
full
though,
class
like-
versions.
you want to get people hype, show them that they can be, like... It's the same way that, like, when an Arkham game is coming out, they show you all the alt costumes you can use, and they're all from famous story arcs. They don't make up their own shit.
Right. Sure.
I do want to say, I mean, there are things I want to see. Like, I don't know if this is shared, but believe it or not, I think Superman looked best when he had, like, the mullet thing going. Like, I thought that looked really good. I thought that fit him the best. Like,
Come
I don't
on,
know,
man.
so, I mean,
I
honestly,
didn't care much for the mullet, but I actually kind of like the no-cape, straight black, silver-esque look.
And maybe you can make that because you can change the color scheme. So I would be genuinely shocked if they don't give Superman like a straight
Well,
black and white
like
or
the
black and
full-on
silver.
wood-
Here's
Full-on
some news
lightning
that may
onesie, that would be
excite you.
sick.
According to Zack Snyder, Superman might have the longer hair when he comes back in Justice
that would make me so happy.
Super mullet.
I like it.
Like
I
his
think it
body
looks
keeps
good.
growing hair when he's not alive?
Oh, he's still alive.
Well, you know what I mean.
I mean, it
In
only
whatever
takes like
whatever
24
state of
hours
living he was
still.
in when he was orbiting for a minute or two in Batman vs Superman.
I do have a question, Razor.
Uh-oh.
Do you like the Atrocitus look? I mean, no, there's no wrong answer here, but I'm just curious. As a huge Atrocitus fan, is this what you wanted? Is this contrary to what you wanted? Like, how do you feel about this look?
Does he or does he not look like a frowny jelly bean?
What are you talking about?
it's not my favorite, but I find it acceptable. Like it sort of reminds me of like dried magma or something volcanic, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of fits the theme. Like, because it's NetherRealm, and you know they're not just gonna do the fucking spandex like I want them to do. And if this is how it has to be, like, it could be so much worse, you know? Like, I hated both of Sinestro's costumes in the last one.
I mean, your opinion
This is
matters
better
the
than
most.
that.
You know, you're the Atrocitus fan. If you like it, really, that's ultimately what matters. But it looks like the fucker has the T virus, bro. It doesn't look good at all to me. And if you like it,
Understand. I'm just saying it could be a lot worse. I feel like this isn't great, but it's an improvement over the last game.
Can someone show me what Atrocitus is, I guess, supposed to look like? I don't even fucking know. I didn't know he looked that different in the game,
No,
but
I don't. I mean,
Well, no, I
he
mean,
looks
okay.
similar.
Okay.
in
Okay.
terms of
That's
like
fine.
his facial features and stuff, it's pretty much this except with Baraka teeth.
Okay.
well, you can't discount the red spandex, though. I mean, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Just looks like a
I'll get a
pissed
picture
off
for you.
baked potato.
I mean, okay. See, I kind of
I mean,
like the armor
Grab
whenever the
The
armor.
regular outfit
makes
is just
sense.
a red version of a Green Lantern costume with big shoulder and neck armor.
But that looks good to me. I
I
think
mean,
that
it
looks
does look good. I'm
fantastic.
just, for Django.
And you know there's gonna be like DLC skins and shit.
If that cat was not there, I think people would hate this way more.
And then to be fair,
complete
yeah.
the image. You gotta have.
I mean, hate's the wrong word, just because I'm not like against it. Because, I mean, ultimately, I don't even have a say. I'm not really like a big Atrocitus fan. The fans are the ones who matter. If they like it, that's what's important.
I mean, I said this several months ago when we did our top 7 or whatever that we'd like to see on the roster. I said Atrocitus isn't even my favorite Red Lantern. I only vote for him because he's the one most likely to get in because he's the leader.
Sure.
Who is your favorite?
He
Red
kind of
Lantern?
looks like a testicle here in this picture. Like, so I don't know what, like, if NetherRealm got it wrong, I don't know what right would look like. This dude.
Right?
He also
Looks-
kind of looks a little bit like Krang in the face, but I don't know. Like I don't know how you could have gone with.
He's a
I just don't
sunburnt
like all the
testicle.
holes in his chest, dude. I just don't like the holes.
Well,
You know what though? It's early.
The giant
They-
shoulder pads.
How long did it take them to fix Tanya? Put it that way. They've got time to work on this.
It's also possible
the outcry is big enough.
we'll still get alternate outfits. I would not be surprised to get a
Yeah.
classic alternate outfit for Atrocitus.
Yeah, you
I
remember
just
that
don't know how that works
shitty
with the cut.
cyborg skin, right? With like the t-shirt. Did he have a t-shirt? This happened, right?
No, that was a
like
classic
his
Teen Titans shirt. Yeah.
1980s cyborg. It looks like a wife beater made of silver.
Okay. If that thing showed up in Injustice, I can't imagine there not being another skin for this dude.
To wrap up the
Well, you say that one
Son
can
of
hope
a
and all,
bitch.
but Superman never fucking got a classic Superman outfit in that entire game. We only got stuck with like New 52 and Man of Steel.
it's true.
Well, I mean, probably. Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
guess.
Superman's
That's
only
good.
been around for like the last 10 years, anyways.
Did they ever
Yeah,
give Did they ever give Batman like the old Adam West outfit? 'Cause
No,
I think they wanted.
No,
No.
well, he has it in Arkham Knight, but not in Injustice now.
Yeah, he didn't get the Tim Burton one either. Man, if he would have had Tim Burton, I still wouldn't have played him in Injustice, but that would have been fun to look at sometimes. I haven't really said anything here because I left for a minute. I don't know if you guys noticed. You probably didn't. That's cool. This game looks exciting. I'm excited about Injustice 2. I'm hyped. I can't wait. And since they're recycling a bunch of characters, I'm excited because that probably means my dick is back in.
Speaking of characters and recycling,
I've been missing it.
I can't wait to maximize for Gorilla Grodd.
Depending on the
and-
story, he might be all Damien.
the last thing I wanted to cover is the roster,
I'll take
because the roster, in my opinion, is the most exciting part about this game thus far, is that they've actually delivered on the roster this time around right out of the gate. They're giving us Atrocitus, they're giving us Gorilla Grodd. Those are two
Supercast.
pretty popular characters. Supergirl. So they've shown us three new characters, three returning characters. There's Fate's helmet and Captain Cold's gun on the T-shirt. So why advertise it on a T-shirt if it's not actually in the game? That'd be kind of silly, especially because they're done up in that weird wireframe, like the rest of the characters' symbols are, that they're releasing as mobile wallpapers. So, in my opinion, I feel I'm not going to get my hopes up too much, but I think they could potentially make the game. They have a good chance there, and if they do, that's already Shadowloo's and I's both number one on our wish list was Dr. Fate. Shadowloo and Razor, I believe, picked Captain Cold as one of their picks, so that would also be that.
Two of them, apparently.
Yeah, Atrocitus is Razor's number one, so that's 3 out of the 5 of ours number one picks. That's pretty amazing. So
I don't know if we're gonna have time for it tonight, but I'm looking at the. Well, I'm looking at the character select screen up on YouTube right now.
You talking about the silhouettes?
Do we want to maybe like? Yeah.
Yep, we're gonna do a video
silhouettes at some point.
We're gonna do a video after we're done here.
Because
We're
That's
gonna
why I'm
guess
trying
what
to-
cartoon silhouettes mean.
Yes, I'm gonna try and wrap this up. That's why, because I wanted to do that next, but I want to do it in video form so we can actually kind of go along with it.
Okay.
alrighty.
So
Because either that's like bronze tiger or a giant panda that I'm seeing.
I think they're hints. I don't think they're any of the actual characters. I think some of them are actual hints because I think it was like that in MKX when they did the joke characters like that.
I think Bronze Tiger is a little too obscure. I saw somebody suggest it might be Beast Boy that the bear is supposed to represent.
That would make sense.
That seems more likely to me.
That would make sense.
Somehow I don't.
Well, I fucking
I
hate
feel like-
Beast Boy, so I hope it's not him.
I thought it was
feel
a
like-
Tekken crossover.
Beast Boy is way too happy and go lucky for this game. Beast Boy is dead in this universe.
What the hell?
Wow.
So
a
is-
lot of
I
Beast
hope
Boy hate.
so.
So is Lois.
Fuck Beast Boy.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's wrap this up. So, on a scale...
Well, I did want to. The air text. We haven't gone over air text yet. Do you want to go? Is it okay if we go over that briefly?
God damn it, gameplay.
Here,
dude,
let me just...
Come on.
Hold on, let me just cue up my I Am Batman clip. Hold on.
Okay. Cool.
Shout out to Mojo. Anyways, go ahead.
I still love you,
I'm
Mojo.
Batman. I don't know about AirTech, so I'm just going to cut you off right there.
Well, here's the thing. They're actually, because one of your biggest complaints with both MK and Injustice is once a combo starts, the game stops. It turns into juggle theater. What they've done, at least if I'm understanding correctly, if you're getting juggled in the air, you can spend a bar of meter to tech out of the combo, but if the opponent reads it, they can reset you. That's from what I understand. Basically, it sounds like Aquaman's trait has been universalized but nerfed. That's what it sounds like to me. And that's very interesting. So it's almost like a Killer Instinct dynamic where you are still a relevant part of the combo even if you're being juggled for 30 seconds. You can still do something about it if you have the meter to back it up. I've not seen anyone do this yet. What's up, Django?
No, I was agreeing. It's funny because Injustice also has Killer Instinct's health bar approach. I'm just throwing out nothing that has nothing to do with anything. I do wish that they would have addressed some of this shit, though, in the E3 shit. There's actual new gameplay mechanics that no one talked about. Instead, we just talked about, look at the fucking epic cod piece Batman has now.
Look at this fish. Am I wrong?
Look at this fish. Like that Christmas tree that lit up in the back of Aquaman's thing fucked my shit up. I didn't know what that was.
Black Manta, though.
Oh
don't open that can of worms.
We will be here for half an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, so Black Manta versus Fujin.
No,
What happens?
they
first?
both had a stick, didn't they? That's not cool.
Let's just summarize it as in Smoke Man, we love you and we're sorry.
I don't
That's
think
all we
it's.
can really say
I don't
right
know.
now.
Boone said he had a chance when he was asked about it. I think if there's enough of an uproar, I think he'd be DLC, in my opinion. And they'll just fucking patch
That
it
totally
to where
worked for Darkseid.
if they patch it
I
in.
do have a lot to say, but I'll say it the next episode. But go on. What's up?
Well, I was just gonna say if he does get included in the game, that's an easy swap to make. It's not like he's doing anything specifically Black Manta-y.
I kind of find it really hard to believe that they would shove in Aquaman 2 games in a row and not give him the only villain of his worth a shit. Seriously.
Yeah, I agree. I 100%
I don't know,
agree.
the comics have been trying to make Ocean Master important.
Who?
That-
I'm just saying they have. They're not
the fuck is an
seeing what
Ocean
they've been
Master?
trying.
Is this some sort of transformer from like '91 that I missed out on?
He's the master of the ocean.
Look,
He is
I think
the
in,
best. He's
I think
Aquaman's
Injustice
brother.
1 got it right. I think Aquaman's biggest foe is his arch nemesis is Superman. Makes sense.
Hey. Hey.
Hey,
It reminds me of, speaking of villains and what character they're related to, I just laugh at everybody that says enough of the Batman villains and then lists Solomon Grundy in the Batman villains just because he was in Arkham City.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I still
Born on
enjoy that.
Monday, stupid on Tuesday.
I think I saw that. It was either on Facebook or YouTube comments where they're like, hopefully not as many Batman villains this time, and he listed Solomon Grundy. I held myself from responding.
what did Grundy do on Thor's Day?
I don't know. You got to sing the whole rhyme before you really know. I think he
He
did.
got
No.
sick, right?
Said his own
Solomon
name a bunch of times.
Grundy taxes on Thursday.
That's how I
Well,
remember.
okay, you know what thing is? Grundy kind of is predominantly sort of a Justice League
Yeah,
of
he's-
America villain.
Yeah, he's just a generic Justice League villain. He's the, you
Well,
know,
He started out as like a villain
does pop
for
up.
Lantern Alan Scott.
yeah, he was old Green Lantern.
He does pop up in Batman often enough, though.
Sure.
Well, Alan and Batman both protect Gotham,
Right.
so
Yeah.
that's why he's there.
Yeah. I think it's just the Arkham City thing that people just automatically jump to that.
I'm
Maybe
looking at
that
Ocean
new
Master
Robin will
right
be
now,
in
who
this
the
game.
Fuck would ever take this seriously?
Who knows?
That'd be
I don't
sick.
know. Anyways, let's wrap this up so we can do that whole video breakdown thing of the whole character select screen because I have some interesting guesses.
Okay.
And by that I
Ocean
mean I haven't
Master
thought about it
pictures
at
are
all.
pictures of Black Manta.
On that note,
I wish there was more gameplay things to talk about, but there's just not. So
there is not.
that's it.
That's it.
That's all we can say.
We'll say more. You're going to get more Nethercasts more frequently as this game starts going into the actual marketing campaign for it. So it won't be like a month and a half in between episodes. It'll probably be like 2 weeks. So anyways, so we'll have plenty more to talk about in the hopefully not too distant future. I think they said, what, Comic-Con is the next one? Is that correct?
I'm sure they'll reveal something at Evo, right?
Yeah, Evo's next month.
Okay, so then Evo, Comic-Con's in July, I thought, as well.
I think they did an Evo reveal for Injustice too.
Okay, yeah, they did.
Injustice as well.
Right, they
I
did.
actually saw that live. That's the year I went to Evo. That
Oh,
was
nice.
sick.
Yeah, they did characters. I think they showed a couple new characters there. I think Nightwing was revealed at Evo.
I think he was.
Yeah,
Ooh.
boom.
And I walked by Ed Boon when he was carrying a briefcase.
Gross.
Evo was crazy.
Did he stink?
No, he smelled good.
Oh, good.
Okay, all right. Well, on that
What
note,
Why are you smelling Ed Boon?
well, that's it for this episode. Check
I
us
wouldn't
out on
take the
Facebook,
risk.
YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff, and iTunes.
Don't contact us.
Anyways, adios, people.
Take care, guys.
Mwah.
Don't stink like Ed Boon.
You smelled good.
All right.
Don't sniff developers. It's not just Ed. I'm just saying it's not a good idea.
Just walk up to him and it's great.
You gotta be subtle. You have to be very discreet.
Cheetos and feet wrapped in moldy bacon.
Holy
Like
shit.
that.
You will never win.